Our final installment of Stop Spending $76,000 on brand new cars. Let's take a look at this Flex. Let's get started. This is a 2018 Ford Flex, another car from Eurasian Bob that he has graciously allowed us to film some of his cars before we move to New Mexico. And by the way, there's a big question. What does your new shop look like? That will be revealed in the next video. You definitely want to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the next video. You will get to see the new location in Las Cruces, New Mexico. It answers all the questions about the big move. This one has a little over 100,000 miles on it, and it is in very good shape. And Eurasian Bob is asking $13,995, just a tad bit under $14,000. That's a far cry from $76,000. Some of the people in the comments are saying, Car Wizard, you can go buy a brand new car for $45,000 or $40,000. The idea is, I have several friends that work in the Newton area. One of them works at a dentist. And he kind of went around the dental office asking some of the people, that they age range 25 to 40 range, how much is your car payment? How much did you spend on your family car? Most of them was 60 to 70 grand because they had to have that nice car. There are cheaper options, but most Americans are choosing the high expensive 60, 70 and up. The average car payment when he found out in the dental office, between $800 and $1,000 a month. It wasn't just a couple people, it was most of the people working there. So this is kind of where I got the idea of stop spending $76,000. There are a lot of options on the market that you can buy for less than half of the price that I mentioned, the 76 grand, and still have a really nice vehicle. Let's take a look around this Flex. Here's the front of this Flex, and I always liked the way that they look. The headlights look like they're part of the body. It's kind of subdued, and it's got strakes down the side or dimples in the door. And here we have some 10-spoke 20-inch wheels, which look really nice. I love the color. I love the light color silver with the darker colored windows, tinted windows. As you see on the back, this is the limited model. It has the EcoBoost 3.5 in it, and the body is in really good shape. Let's hop under the hood. Here we have an EcoBoost 3.5 V6. And when I drove this up here today, I was very amazed by how powerful it was. 365 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. More power than your 2002 SS Camaro. More power than your IROC. More power than a lot of cars that we thought were so powerful. And it's a family car with a V6. It is fast, guys. It is very powerful. I have a story here in a little bit towards the end that I'll tell you that's very sad about a vehicle just like this one. Very sad. Are these reliable? Yes, they are pretty reliable, except for when the water pump fails. Let me show you where it's at. Down there, you see the timing cover. In that myriad of all kinds of pipes and hoses, the timing chains run the water pump. Just like in this picture here, you can see that a chain runs the pump. When the pump goes bad, it has a telltale little weep hole that will leak coolant. So you think you just got an average coolant leak, only to find out that you've got a $3,000 to $5,000 or more water pump gone bad. And the reason why it's that much is because the whole front of the engine and the timing chains have to come off to even get to the water pump. And what kind of bozo would put the old timing chains back on, knowing that they could fail at this age in life, another 50,000 miles, who knows what could happen? Why didn't we solve that while we had it apart? So you're going to get new chains, new guides, new water pump, the whole spiel if you do the job. It's very expensive. I've actually had a few of these in the past when I actually found the culprit of their coolant leak was the water pump, and I quoted them the price of the job. They said, hell no, I'm trading it in. So that is, and just like every car out there has some kind of flaw. That is the flaw with the Ford Flex. However, if you can do the work yourself, or you have someone who can do it a little cheaper, these are a really great car. This isn't a Ford Flex problem. They have these in F-150s. They have these in all kinds of cars, the EcoBoost 3.5 V6. Ford uses it extensively across a lot of vehicles. It is kind of sad when that goes bad and it has some issues. It's not like your engine's going to grenade or anything. It just really sucks when you get the bill to replace that. But otherwise, it actually is a very reliable engine with lots of power. The interior is really cool on this vehicle, especially in the back. If you have children, the interior is very, very nice. Take it away, Mrs. Wizard.
Okay, ladies and gents, as you can see back there below that accessory power is active little window, it says this has 115,110.7 miles. I know it's a little hard to read because it's white on light blue, not a great design idea, but that's what it is. So otherwise, this is a very easy, simple gauge cluster back there. As we move up, the dash is in really good shape. Hard plastic because it is a Ford product. They don't really wrap things in leather and put carbon fiber into things. I do like the texture of this ivory. Looking good. Got a neat little design to it. As we go to our center section, you can see we do still have an accessory mode. Okay, so let's see if we tell it to close. Look at that map. That is going to be vintage someday. I love the kind of that low-res design, and yep, it's pointing to right where we are at. Let's move down. It says Sony right there, and we do have our climate control. Lots of simple little buttons though. Nothing fancy, just simple buttons. As we move down, we have our gear selector, a couple of cup holders, center armrest, and as we lift up, there's a couple of more USB charge locations also. The seats are perforated in the center and solid on the sides. Got a nice headrest on the back. As we look at that door panel, it's looking really nice there. Got a little bit of that wood trim there and a nice spot for, you know, drinks, maps, whatever. So we do have this in cargo mode at the moment, but you can see that we have a row of seats there, and that big dark gray abyss behind that is another row of seats. So this is a 7-passenger vehicle. It doesn't look like a minivan, but it holds just the same as a minivan. Now I'm liking the ceiling here. No Cheeto fingers, no sagging, but look at all the windows. There's a window basically for everybody. Luckily the row up here, it is covered, but it is another set of windows up there. And as we're back to that steering wheel, got our controls here for everything we need, you know, and a couple other buttons we probably don't need as well. But that's what it is, and that's what we got. So enough of this interior talk. Let's get this up on a lift and see what it looks like on the underneath.
Now with these models of Flexus, you could have gotten front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. This one is the all-wheel drive version, so we're going to see front and rear CV shafts. We see here at the radiator core support, no leaks going on or anything like that. Engine looks nice and dry. Looks like it's had a recent oil change. There's one of our catalytic converters. Here's our transmission. Everything's leak-free. Check out this wheel here. Brakes are about 80%. CV boots are good. Sway bar link, nice and tight, and struts are not blown. Nothing loose. Brakes are 80%. CV boots are good. Strut is not blown. Sway bar link is not loose. And nothing loose there. With a little over 100,000 miles, it would definitely be time for a transmission service, so it'd be something to look forward to. Either if you purchase this, one of the things to keep in mind when you purchase a vehicle, it's probably going to be time for some services to get it caught up. So that would be something I would look into doing here. And then it has its own little differential right here, which you can see bolts to the transmission. It's not part of the transmission. And it sends power through this drive shaft, which is not loose. And this is one of the rare instances where it's really cool to see a vehicle that has dual exhaust all the way back. You see two coming off the engine here. It has two little flex joints, a little resonator chamber, two into the muffler, two out of the muffler, and two all the way back. That's really interesting, and exhaust usually goes off to the side somewhere, usually not right down the center. So it's really cool exhaust, dual all the way back. Our drive shaft has a good carrier bearing and a good U-joint up here. Nothing loose there. And here we arrive to the rear differential, which looks like it has some sort of a viscous coupling right here, which you can see in front of the differential. And it has some small little CV shafts, which the boots on those are good. Our sway bar link is not loose. The shock is not blown. Nothing loose. Brakes are about 50% in the rear. 50% on the brakes. Sway bar link is not loose. Shock is not blown, and nothing loose there. So our differential doesn't have any leaks, and the exhaust pretty much stays together all the way to the rear until we have the dual mufflers out the back. I do see some pipes here. You can see heater hoses and AC piping, which means it has rear heat and rear AC. So one thing to keep in mind when you're looking for a vehicle is if you see something that has rear heat and rear AC, that sounds awesome at first. Awesome, you know, they can have their own controls back there. But there's more to the story. You have 2 heater cores now and 2 evaporator cores. If your AC system fails, you don't need to flush 1 evaporator core, you need to flush 2. And you have 2 expansion valves and all the piping in between. So when you have an AC failure, instead of being $1,400 for a full system, you'll be getting close to $2,000 or more. So make sure to keep that in mind. Let's check the date codes on those tires. So we see 21st week of 2024. So these tires got some good tread on them. They are in good shape. Let's get this thing on the ground. So what's so good about a Ford Flex? Me and Mrs. Wizard both agreed. It's a car that's different. We both decided we don't drive cars that looks like every other car on the road, a cookie cutter car, or as Jeremy Clarkson called them, white goods, a refrigerator, a toaster. We don't like driving a toaster. We like something that looks nice, that looks different. To me, these Ford Flexes look really, really good. And if you were to purchase this one, you could know that underneath it has no leaks, not even 1 drop, nothing. It drives good, it has tons of power. This would definitely be a good buy at around 14 grand as opposed to 60, 70, 80 grand for a new car, which is going to get you $1,000 a month payments. This one might be $150 or $200. Massive, massive savings for your family, for your kids, that you can do things for them instead of sending it all away to some bank loan. And if you don't want to be seen in a minivan, this thing has all of the creature comforts and room of a minivan, but it doesn't look like a minivan. It looks like a really cool station wagon type thing from the kind of the 50s wagon look. Now the water pump issue I mentioned on the engine, these water pumps can last 200,000 miles or more. But when it does finally fail, like I mentioned, it's going to be an expensive repair. But even if you had to do the repair on this car, it's still absolutely worth it. I've had people turn down the job, not because it wasn't worth it or the value of the car and everything, just because they just didn't want to spend that money. But even if you had to spend that money, you still come out way ahead than that $1,000 a month loan. This would definitely be worth doing the timing chains and water pump if it needed it, which it currently doesn't, and it may not for another 5 to 10 years. Which reminds me of a story. We had one of these not too long ago. I think it was a white one that came in that had the same engine. He had the job done at a local shop, the timing chain, the water pump, the whole deal. I think they charged him 6 or 7 grand. It was really high. And they were incompetent. They got the timing off and grenaded his engine. He brought it here hoping that maybe there's a way to salvage it, there's a way to save it. We did a borescope camera check and saw the valves were bent. It wouldn't hold compression. It was toast, dude. It was totally done. The cost to fix that engine would have been the same as just replacing it. So it made no sense. And the customer said that they didn't want to put that kind of money into the car, but they were sad because they absolutely loved their Ford Flex. And I can see why now after driving this one. It's stylish, it's comfortable, lots of room, lots of creature comforts, and guys, it's fast. Lots of torque, lots of power. When you hit the accelerator, you can watch the tach and the speedometer move in unison. It's that fast. I was really amazed. So unlike the old days with the Grand Caravans or the Caravans with the 4-cylinder where you cross your fingers and pray to some deity that you will make it on the highway and not crash, get up to speed, this one gets up to speed and will blow everybody away and leave them in the dust. It has no trouble getting on the highway. Definitely a really sweet vehicle. So this is part of the closure of the series we were doing, Stop Spending $76,000. Just like I mentioned with the story with my friend that works at a dentist office Every day he says somebody's complaining about, I don't have much money left in my account and that dang car payment's coming through soon. Oh my God, if I could get rid of that payment. Don't get that payment. Stop spending $76,000. Stop it. You can get something like this from Eurasian Bob. Very small payment. But as I always say, do not get a post-purchase inspection, but please do get a pre-purchase inspection, because inspecting it after you've already bought it, that doesn't do any good because you're still stuck fixing it. And if you try to haggle with the person you bought it from, a private seller or a dealer, and say, hey, bro, I got it inspected and I found all this stuff wrong, they'll be like, you should have done that before you signed on the dotted line. Too late now. Most car dealers, used car dealers in Kansas, offer 10% warranty, which means if it costs $1,000 to fix something, they'll pay $100. The other $900 is on you. Pre-purchase inspection, it really is worth it. You're going to pay probably $200 or $300 for that inspection, but it can save you thousands of dollars from signing away on a car loan or whatever and then going, oh my God, I should have checked this thing out before I bought it. So we're getting very close to being done at the Newton shop. We have one more video we're going to shoot here, and then you're going to start seeing videos down there in Las Cruces with cars on the schedule. Our first month of July, I was surprised, is already full down there. We haven't even got there yet. That's a good problem to have, guys. I'm really, really happy to see that. And just like I mentioned, Tyler from Hoovie's Garage will be renting this building and expanding his dealership and doing some other things. Danielson's staying here and working for Tyler. Family-wise, it just doesn't work for him to leave the state and go to another state. Same thing with Crazy D and Junior Mint. It doesn't work for them to move. Have a whole new crew hired down there. We'll be introducing them. You make sure you want to hit the subscribe button because the next video coming out will showcase the new shop. All the tools we use in the shop is listed for sale on our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. If you purchase any tools there, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. And again, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Thanks for watching.